When I return, Assassin's Creed. Okay. Now, I can't imagine that there's too much more left in this game. Seems like it's a little late to be worried about feeding all these people. Full-blown rebellion going on right now.
Our plan is working, my friend. Washington's troops are scattered. The palace is unguarded.
This will help you along. The mechanism's rather tricky, but I'm sure you'll be able to unravel it.
Very well. I will see you once I have succeeded.
What was the point of this? Investigate the entrance hall.
These doors were forced open.
I don't see how that is entirely possible with whatever you're finding out there. Like, what leverage are you getting off of that?
What target was up here? Why is this loose? Mother, you failed to stop Washington. But maybe I can follow you to him.
Why did you bring me down here if we could just do it here? I feel like some of the challenge in this is just removed a little bit by our ability to transform.
Someone in the palace.
Shoot anything that comes through there.
Do not kill any animals in Washington Zoo.
You, patrol the area. Make sure no one is...
Doesn't look to be anywhere that I could actually maybe fly up to. I think I'm just going to have to get in here, use the bear mode. I think that's what it's going to want from me. Why did you take that from me? Bastard. Let's see. It really would just be easier to kill them. Like, fuck it. I don't care.
There are teeth marks on this.
Get off.
Someone broke through here.
Okay. It's not correct. Can I assassinate the bear?
Dried blood. Too much for a human.
Oh. No? Okay. Maybe there'd be some water or something instead of a bottomless pit mysteriously put inside the pyramid, but okay. What the fuck? Why won't it latch on? Jesus. I think we know how this goes. Why does it take that away from me? That really fucking pisses me off. Okay, so I can't use my bear shit when that's out. So that is fucking worthless to me. Will not be doing that. It's clearly the best option that I have. mean, is that... This is going to be a pain in the ass, isn't it? It's going to want me to use all three of the animal aspects to move around the room.
Mother, it is time I finished what you began.
Oh, okay, it took my thing from me. You're supposed to latch onto that.
Mother, it is time I finished what you began.
Why can't we just fly up to somewhere else? Like, I can see all these places. Why can't I just fly up there? All right. Why is this place so poorly built? I guess maybe it's my bear power or something, but this place is made out of fucking solid stone. And balsa wood, apparently. Well?
It is you at last. Commander Washington, if you give up the apple, I will let you live.
Give up the apple?
It controls you.
Is that what you believe? I believe I control it. Although I never considered the possibility that it could control someone. Perhaps it can.
You have been corrupted by the apple's power.
Corrupted? Well, that raises an interesting question. Do you wish me to give up the apple in order to save my soul? Or do you wish the apple for yourself so you can control the nation?
The true rulers are the people.
Let's not deceive ourselves. It's an absurd thought, but let's suppose that I were beholden to this apple. How would you behave differently?
I would use it for the good of everyone.
Well, the possession of the apple is both a burden and a blessing. Tell me, when you shake the earth, do you feel that you are a slave to the people? Or do you wish to be their master?
The people want you brought down.
But you didn't answer the question.
I am the only king here!
What was the crunchy audio?
You've run out of tricks, eh? At last. Burn, miserable cur. Behold the searing light.
Why won't you use the fucking powers? What the fuck is going on right now? Thank you.
See the light. Welcome back.
So we're playing this game again.
Here is the heat of my anger.
I wonder if I... Well, no, because as soon as he sees me, he activates his shield, so... You gotta play this stupid fucking game. Stay within proximity to the orbs, because you don't have enough time.
Save you.
What in the goddamn fuck is going on right now?
Welcome back. I will send you back to hell. I expected the use of dark magic. Are you just going to stand there in plain sight? Here is the heat of my anger.
What? What the goddamn fuck?
Burn,
How the fuck does he see me? For starters.
Let this singe your flesh. Behold the searing light. Burn by divine fire.
How the fuck was I able to do it the first fucking time? This is fucking infuriating.
See the light.
How the goddamn fuck does he see me? I'm not touching these fucking orbs. I am well above the fucking orbs. Alright, I'm gonna look up how to play this fucking thing. So, apparently...
Waiting for sight only angers me. Here is the heat of my anger.
Apparently there's only certain patterns of these fucking lights.
Let this singe your flesh.
Alright, it seems to be... well, no, it's not.
Any other track? Here is the heat of my anger. I thought I'd see you again.
How come it's stuck... okay, okay. Well, that ain't it. Jesus fuck.
I will end you for all you've done!
We are now ready.
This one, you dumb fuck? Stupid piece of fucking shit? It only lets you do the one. You can't, you can only pick the one fucking thing right now. God fucking damn it, that's annoying as shit.
Armageddon. I died trying to bring down Washington. I plead with you, do not pursue the apple.
My son, I am so worried for you. The sky journeys have led you astray. give up your fight for the apple, please, my son. Please.
Now's your chance. Take the apple. Take it. Take it.
Commander.
Take it. Take it from me. I do not want it.
No man should possess a power so absolute.
Sink it into the sea. Weight it, and sink it to the bottommost reaches of the ocean.
Where are we headed, anyway?
Commander Washington,
I thought I was alone.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
That's quite all right.
Things appear to be at a stalemate.
I'm afraid so.
Might I suggest, Commander, that a republic cannot survive in a world with so many contending powers?
I beg your pardon.
Elected bodies, to be sure. The war was fought for this. For this nation to prosper. For this nation to thrive. The weakness of a republic must be balanced by a powerful man at its center. A powerful man, Commander, who, if I may be so bold, would be elevated in the eyes of the world if he were given the title of king.
Where did he come from?
Sir, I believe I can answer you in complete candor. Your proposal raises the greatest mischief that could befall my country. You could not have found a person to whom your schemes are more disagreeable. Let me conjure you then. If you have any regard for your country, concern for yourself, or posterity, or respect for me, to banish these thoughts from your mind. Never communicate as from yourself or anyone else a sentiment of the like nature.
Is he just standing in the corner the whole time?
We are done here.
You want to go back?
Yes. Back. Take us back.
That doesn't... You're... How is that the deepest part of the sea when you're, like, right there? There's fucking land right there. You didn't take it very far. Jesus Christ. What a disappointment. This game, just from beginning to end, just it was man, what the fuck? It was so empty. The first Assassin's Creed came out in the middle of the whole parkour craze, and you know, just that was a huge aspect of the game, was climbing on things, you know, moving around, the jumping puzzles and all that stuff. And the second game, I think, perfected that enough, whilst also adding, you know, extra stuff to it. Like when you're traveling through the city, you feel like you're in something. There's always something going on. Not necessarily always something you want to do, but there's enough to make it feel alive. And as I've said before, we probably want to avoid copyright music here. This game just felt like it was the idea of the previous two games, but just not implemented at all. Like, people saw the game, whoever developed this shit saw the previous two games, and they made notes, but they didn't understand like how it went together and its purpose. Because like the city is impossible to navigate. It's a huge pain in the ass. So like the parkour thing isn't nearly as fun. It's empty as fuck. You can't see anybody. What was my graphic settings on, by the way? Because my shit looked awful. Resolution, display mode, monitors, environment quality. So high. I didn't have space reflections, ambient occlusion, whatever. Maybe anti-aliasing would have helped a little bit. But the video I just looked at for that final fight must have been directly from like a PlayStation or Xbox or something, because it was so much higher than the shit that I just saw on my own. Mine looked awful. But like in the city too, like the textures are just poor. The draw distance is awful. That fog, like, you know, when you'd climb to the top of something to look around and get that nice panoramic view that in the previous games would just show you this wide cityscape, you couldn't see shit here. It just looked like the smoky, hazy, like mud color the entire way. It was just, it was a lesser game. Like, you look at these things without knowing the number of them, and you'd think this would be the first one, just because it's so much poorer quality than the previous ones. And it's really, really disappointing. I keep hoping each game is going to improve in the series, and now it's just drifting backwards. There's still Liberation, which I guess takes place in France. It's during the French Revolution. But it's nonetheless still Assassin's Creed 3. So unless there's like an improvement, I guess it's like a standalone expansion or DLC or something. Because you can't access it from this game. You have to actually open it separately. But just, God, I can only hope it's better. Really. This is the end of Desmond's story, so hopefully they kind of back off of the whole animus whatever nonsense. And even the story, like, you know, I think it also came out around the same time as what was that, the Da Vinci Code, you know, when the popularizing the conspiracies even more so. And so, like, but if you follow the conspiracy lore, like, the Founding Fathers were all Masons, which would have been on the side of the Templar anyway. So, like, even the story of this didn't make a whole lot of sense, that, like, Washington was actually outside of the whole thing. And then this DLC, Fever Dream thing, which they don't even explain how it's connected. Like, at the end there, it's kind of implied that they find the apple and, like, you know, it was all a dream, and then Washington tells you to get rid of the thing, and that's how that doesn't happen or whatever. But it's like none of it is connected in any way, because in the main storyline we didn't go find it. So, like, at what point does that come into play? It feels like they initially tried to avoid that, like, I don't know, assuage the sensibilities of Americans who might, you know, scoff at the Founding Fathers being the enemies of a game, and you couldn't assassinate them because historically that wouldn't make any sense. But then they were like, oh, but what if we did put in a story where... I still feel like they could have, in some way, kept the whole, you know, Washington and the Founding Fathers are on the bad guys' side, but they're not the agents of it or something. I don't know. It's just really, really poorly done. And just so disconnected. And the DLC, there was some DLC, so I did that off camera in between the end of the main campaign and the Tyranny of Washington. You know what? I want to get away from the music for a minute because I'm afraid of copyright. Probably too late by now, but so I guess one of the DLC, and it doesn't really mention it. Well, anyway, so it doesn't really mention that you're in the DLC, but it's the whole development of the valley, and so it might look a little bit fuller now, maybe. So basically, the DLC is to fill in your valley, do quests for the people, which basically is like it culminates in the miner marrying Miriam, the hunter, and then when you do that, old what's-his-face dies, and you get his outfit, which is this. The other DLC was doing quests for Benedict Arnold. I did not complete those because they're a huge pain in the ass, and they don't make any goddamn sense, and a lot of it is stealth following shit, and my god, was that just an absolute pain in my ass. So I decided to not complete that. I don't know offhand what else is in there. I guess I could have looked at the Ubisoft thing. But, you know, it's just like so tacked on that it could have been incorporated better into the story, but you don't need it. You know, it's... I feel like a better way to integrate it would have been so that if you completed it, you actually got something. Like, to be fair, for the DLC, you know, as you go, the town... Well, I guess we can look. The town buildings get better. The construction quality is better, and then, you know, you do get the goods from that. But as I complained about before, that whole aspect of the game is just fucking nonsense. You don't need to be doing that. Get out of there. You know, you don't need the money. And the ways that you can make money are so much easier to get what you want. I don't know. It's such a poorly implemented thing. It really would have been better if it had been like Assassin's Creed 2 Villa, where as you develop it, you just get more money over time that you get, you know, collected or whatever. So I don't know how far I unlocked. There was, you know, the woodcutter and the doctor and the church and the tavern and the inn. Get off of that. Right, the farmer here, like the one farmer who's apparently feeding the whole village. Like, it just didn't... It would have been nice for, like, this whole aspect to have meant something. To come in here and actually feel like you were doing something. Because in Assassin's Creed 2, as you improved your villa, you increased the things that you could buy and, you know, have access to, as well as your money. It would have been more fulfilling if you could actually have some tangible benefit that you needed to or not necessarily needed, but would have actually given you a reason to complete it, as opposed to the whole little economy thing that you can just absolutely ignore and it has no consequence whatsoever on the game or your ability to play it. And maybe because, you know, when the complete edition got released and then all the Ubisoft store stuff got unlocked, you know, the various weapons that I have access to maybe gave me a little bit of an edge in finishing the game, but I feel like the stuff, like if you had gotten the War Club or just whatever, you know, I think there's enough weaponry in the game that you could just beat it anyway, even without have unlocked the the club point stuff and having done anything else. Like, we didn't do any of the trade route. How do I access the fucking... Not that. For fuck's sake. This. We didn't do any of, like, the ship missions to unlock the trade routes, which I guess would have made it easier in some aspects. And the fact that you go into the viewpoints and it doesn't unlock the whole map, that pisses me off. Why is that? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. You still have to go through some of these places to find and unlock things. Like, they completely took away the mechanic where all those little extra bits in the city unlock once you take a tower. Like, the formula for that worked just fine. Why did they do it this way? Because as it was, it didn't make any difference. Because, like, you would have a viewpoint right next to a viewpoint. And the only reason that I could see that they were like that is because they decided to use... God damn it. They decided to use, famous landmarks of the city as the viewpoints. And so, like, you would just climb them to get, not a view at all. You would just climb them because it's like, oh, I recognize that or whatever. That's a famous part of history. Like, there's no real reason to go there, because it doesn't function the same. And I think that was a very poor decision. I mean, yeah, maybe in the historical cities, those locations were right next to each other, so it wouldn't make sense. But just make one of them a vantage point. You can still have the unlocking mechanic and have your landmarks at the same time if you just limit the number of vantage points. And I don't know. It just all of the game was just, it felt so loose the whole time, so amateurish. It's just really disappointing. I suppose, maybe just to get out of the way, I'll finish Liberation, but I think I'm going to take a break for a while. I've actually been recording back-to-back for quite a while, which has been nice because once the game has just been frustrating. I mean, I know it's not a whole lot of fun to watch me rant about things, and I think a large part of it, aside from my frustrations with the game, is also just that when I play for too long at a sitting, when I'm playing for like 3 or 4 hours straight, I get much more easily frustrated. So like taking a break from the game was kind of necessary in some places. And like for this last batch, Chapter 3, there was like 2 weeks break between when I was playing that and the current batch of episodes here. So maybe it would be better for everybody if I just take a break for a while before coming back into Assassin's Creed again to finish off the game. But at the same time, I want it off my computer. I don't want this there. I want to start a new series and get going. Is this just a view? I think it's just a view. It's his grave. Achilles' grave.
Never properly said goodbye to you. I was not ready. So here I am. The weight of my responsibilities never seems to diminish. There is always something else that needs fighting for. This is something you never warned me of. Maybe because you thought I would have been deterred. You would have been wrong, but I know you were not accustomed to that. Life carries on here. The people seem happy. They are certainly safe, at least for now. One of my brotherhood asked me something I have been struggling with. What happens if, when we win? When we stop the Templars? It is a question I certainly do not know the answer to. Perhaps you did not either. I miss you. As I miss my mother. I hope all is well with you. Wherever you are. Goodbye, old man. Until it comes time for me to join you, then I will bother you once again.
Alright, anyway. It's time to end this one here. I'll see you next time.